Okay, so if you open Google Earth, you get this first view. We want to show the grid. So you go to View. If you look down here, here's the grid. And it's quite useful because it breaks it up into those bits. Now that grid becomes more fine-tuned depending on whether you zoom in or not. So if we just rotate towards the Indian Ocean, you notice the rotation is slightly angled, and we can straighten it up by using the hand tool if you want. It's really up to you. Now the equator line and the Capricorn line and the tropical lines will help us break the area into smaller bits for the kids. But there's a tool which will help us work out the area of one of these big rectangles. And that's quite useful because at this one latitude we can assume that they'll stay the same area, so we can just count them at a latitude. And it's symmetric around the equator, so we can count the one directly above the equator as well as the same area. So really it's not an exact measurement, but it's a fine-tuning of an estimate if we want to get the area of the Indian Ocean. And we can use the other tropic lines to help us work it out. So just show you that tool. So we go across here to rulers, and the polygon tool is this one here. Just drag that back into the screen. There we go. Now I would probably zoom in a bit closer to do this, but just for now we'll just show you how this tool works. But if I click my crosshair on the corner of that and then go to the other corner and click to the next corner and finally to the other corner, you can see up here that particular rectangle has a square kilometers area of 1,221,462.48 square kilometers. So if we count these, and that's a close enough estimate there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can worry about those. We can do some estimates there later. 7, 8, 9, 10. They are now counted. We'd multiply that by 10. We could take a screen grab of this and paste it into our paint document to cross off those bits that we have counted. For example, here's the snipping tool. So I'll just take a snip of what I've done, like that, copy it, put it into my paint tool, paste it down there, and then I can cross off the bits that I've counted so I can keep track of my group's count, if that makes sense. Anyway, we'll go back to Google Earth and we'll show you what happens if we zoom in a little bit. So we'll go and zoom in. You can see the grids change size. So the exercise that we've just done has to be at the same zoom. So I suppose a group might want to do it with this bigger view, in which case we would use our polygon tool again to have a look at the, we'll do that anyway. We'll use our ruler. It's still on polygon because I just used it. I'm going to click on the corners of my shape, and you can see there's the smaller area of this smaller one, and again I can count them symmetrical around the equator. So if I did these latitudes, they'd be the same size along this latitude here. So of course you could make this bigger if you want. So say I wanted to use this view, whoops, and I wanted to take a bigger, like use 4 of them, I could. Oops, there we go. And that would be the area of one of them, and I could count groups of 4 of them. I might count those 2 along with another 2 over here or something like that. But that's how we can use this tool to keep track of the larger ocean areas. If we go across into the coastline, so we'll just close that tool off and just move over closer to the coastline. You could estimate the fraction of that area, or you could use the polygon tool again just in that area. I'll just show you that. So using the polygon tool in this little grid here, we can have as many sides to our polygon as we like, as you can see, and I can stretch it to better fit. And so there you can see fairly quickly, instead of estimating in terms of a percent, you can get a number, and the kids could do that to develop the areas of those bits around the edges.